if you treat people the way you want to be treated, that don't mean that they're gonna treat you that way back.
True
So I
story.
feel like for me, 2025 is for me, my personal year is a year of self-preservation.
Self-preservation. That's on one of the commercials.
I'm I am learning to, even though I want to treat people the way I want to be treated, because that's just, a civilized way of being. I cannot expect for them to treat me that way. And when they don't, it is up to me to either teach a person how to treat me or remove myself from around what I don't want to be around. And it's just that on that. And and not really caring, not about the person, but like, how people, I don't want people to feel like I'm better than them, or it is what it is. I'm too old for all that shit. It is this is the self-preservation, because I've learned everybody that I have loved in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it be family or friends, I have seen the bitter side of it. So it's like, why spend my life trying to appease that aspect of people? You know what I'm saying? When they're not trying to appease me.
That's right.
So not being bitter, but learning how to operate in a way that I'm self-preserving myself, because if don't nobody love you, if you don't love yourself, nobody's gonna love you like you. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just most like been one of those epiphanies for me. Like, how you go through life, and if you're growing like you're supposed to, there are gonna be moments where you have epiphanies, where you're growing and learning, and that's one of the things that I learned. Like in 2025, this is my year of self-preservation.
Self-preservation. Self-preservation. And that's where a lot of us are kind of going wrong at, to a certain extent, because we're not thinking about self. We all on the outside and worried about other things for comfort for ourselves, and self outside of yourself. Outside of yourself. Everybody worried out about outside of themselves, and they should be worried about self. Now that is
and
true.
it's not selfish. It's not selfish to be that way, as long as I'm not doing it in a way that is hurting, or you know what I mean. Like, it's one thing to be what's another word for selfish, where you're just greedy. You like greedy with myself. You know what I mean? It's another thing to be It's one thing to have self-preservation. Is another thing to be selfish. So not being selfish, but still having self-preservation, because maybe people will suck you dry, your energy, your time, your space, baby. No, we can't be doing it. Especially when you're a good-hearted person, because you want to be like that. That's your nature to be that way, you know? So you have to learn how to have balance with people, places, and things, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that is true. Self-preservation is the number one thing on should be a number one thing on everyone's list.
Just say, because like they say, when that airplane go down, they tell you to put that mask on yourself first before you help anybody. Because you can't help nobody. Or like they said, you can't build your house giving your bricks away to everybody else.
Yep.
That's one of my things that I've learned here. Especially because people were dying and shit, And even just working on my inner being. Because a lot of us work on our outer beauty, the hair, the nails,
Right.
this, that.
That's why I
But
said
your
I had to
inside,
throw a hat on today. I'm so ridiculous. Dang, I can't go laugh like this. Yeah, everybody invested in so many things of non-importance when we should be dwelling on things of importance. And
I mean, don't get me wrong, because your exterior is a part, you know what I'm saying, of it, but your interior matters first. But a lot of the time, though, what you're feeling on the inside will exude through your outer being. And sometimes you don't even know it.
Yeah.
So you got to be aware. You got to also be aware. Be aware of yourself. Yeah.
To be aware, to be alive, and not to even always go on real life topics making complaints and things like that. But at the same time, the good has to overweigh the bad on the way we operate in life, and generally speaking. And once again, for all the real life topic followers that don't understand maybe where real life topics is coming from, this is self-preservation talk for all of us. It's about self. Ain't nobody pointing out nobody or trying to bash anyone. This is just a self-preservation talk because we all, it's like the meetings of the minds, like the commercials say. All of us have the meetings of, everybody is entitled to their own opinion, and we respect everyone's opinion. Thinking about others before you think about yourself, people will run you in the dirt. I have learned to think of self before others. In doing that, I have more peace. That's right.
A fact. It's a fact. Because let me tell you, people will drain you dry. And it's so crazy because, like I said, when you have a big heart, you want to be there for people. You know, you're loving, you're kind. That's just your spirit, your being. But you have to learn, baby, because let me tell you, you be somewhere dragged up on the side of the road and they done took all your little energy and passed it on to somebody else. And a lot of the times, you exert yourself for a person and they will not do that shit for you. They will not do the same. They won't.
No, you know how much stuff I done did for people and they have never done what I have done for them. You know, and I ain't trying to keep score or nothing like that, but at the same time, a person could call me and I will be there for them and show up for them, but that same return will not, it just wouldn't be. It just wouldn't be.
My thing is, because with that being said, and that's a part of reciprocity. That's what Lauryn Hill was talking about, you know, with the reciprocity. At the end of the day, I'm not expecting for you to do exactly what I have done for you, but you must reciprocate in some way, shape, form, or fashion, whatever way that you can. And sometimes people just choose not to.
Yeah.
People, like they say, people take your kindness for weakness. And it's sad, you know what I'm saying, that it is like that. And you have to be that way, but it's just a part. I think it's just a part of wisdom. It's a part of like the lessons that you learn in life, because there's a lot of us going through that same thing. Just having a better understanding of yourself. Know that self. That's why I love, one of my favorite Maya Angelou poems is Hey Black Child. And one of the one that I remember that stick out, hey Black Child, do you know who you are? Who you really are? Do you know who you want to be? Who you really want to be? Do you know where you're going, where you're really going? Do you know? Because if you have no knowing, you'll be running around here in the world like a chicken with your head cut off, somewhere in a corner rocking, asking yourself why. And nobody wants that, you know? Everybody wants peace, you know? And like she said, peace, self-preservation is a part of peace. When you have inner peace, then you don't have to go looking outwardly for that, you know?
Mm-hmm. Nah, you ain't when you find with yourself and you love yourself, you ain't, I don't know, but
you're not searching. You're not searching for anything else because you have peace. Nobody's perfect. We all have things that we have to work on.
Anyway, God bless you with those type of things, but it's like when it's your number one main focus, other things. And not just in relationships with men versus women, just focus on other things is a distraction as well.
Yeah. I found myself, that's why I said, like, with me, you know, all of us have things we have to work on. I feel like one of the major things that I must stay in tune with is my spiritual side, you know, like spending time with the higher power, with God, and being able to tune out the world, because I am one of those people that a lot of people call on. Hey, Carmen, and I'm going. You know, if I can, I will. So that's why I take my little couple days out the week to deal with my kids, deal with myself, deal with my own demons before I can take on the rest of the world, you know? Because I don't want to be drained and out here looking crazy and feeling some type of way. You got to check yourself. What they say, check yourself before you wreck yourself. So at the end of the day, they call shadow work. Sometimes you have to look at your own demons and find out what you got going on inside yourself before you can help anybody else and look at anybody else. We are not here to judge, okay? We are all here to learn and grow from each other. I feel like that's what being an adult is about. You know how age ain't nothing but a number, which is a very true thing, because you can be grown and still a dummy.
So can be. Age definitely ain't nothing but a number. It's about your mind frame and your thought process. That is for sure.
Mm-hmm. Because, like, you know, it's a lot of things that you probably did when you were younger that you don't do now because you understand.
Right. And still doing it today. It's just levels, different levels to it. And it's some mistakes you make it still to today at whatever certain age you is, and you ain't going to be doing that 10 years from now. Whatever it might be.
Hopefully. Hopefully, because there's some people that will be.
Oh yeah. Some people don't change, but change it does need to come for us all. Hopefully, we can all just work on change coming. Hopefully, we can all be aware and take accountability, and just know what we got going on.
But you know what? I heard the term. Somebody used to always say to me that people don't change; they just get wiser. And if you look at it, it's kind of true because you ain't really changed from when you were adolescent. You just learned more, so now you move differently. You haven't changed though. There's still some remnants or essence of that aspect of you that is still there. You just improved upon it.
Mm-mm. Well, to be aware is to be alive. We all just need to be aware of just I need to be aware. I'm just gonna talk about self. This is real life. And
Everybody
change has to come like Sam Cooke. Is that Sam Cooke who sang that song, Change?
Now, is it Otis Redding?
I thought it was Sam Cooke.
I think it's Otis Redding. You talking about I was born by the river?
Ain't that Sam Cooke?
I think it's Otis Redding.
Oh.
It may be, or maybe you know how maybe two people sing the same version of the song or something. It's been a long. I think it was Otis Redding. I believe.
Look that up. Let me look that up and see who's saying change. Let me see who's saying change gonna come.
Oh, a change gonna come.
Change gonna come. Sam Cooke. Exactly. I knew it was Sam. Rest in peace to you, Sam Cooke. They did you dirty too, man. That's bogus.
They did them all.
That murdered you and cut your fingers off and did all that to your finger, but that was foul play. Somebody did kill Sam Cooke.
They're gonna say, look, Sammy Larry, he chimed in. He said Sam
Thompson. Yes, Sam Cooke, born in the manger, and they had did him like that. Then had the black lady play it off, talking about he was brought a prostitute or something. The prostitute didn't set him up and all. They didn't kill that man. They killed Sam Cooke.
If you think about it, all of them died tragically back in the day. It was all just tragic as hell. It was very sad how the men went out back in the day. All of them died back in that time. Whether it be a drug overdose or who killed didn't Marvin Gaye daddy kill him?
Marvin Gaye. And then did you see on there that they said the people said Marvin Gaye was gay?
That was what you said. I don't know nothing about that. I know the daddy was a Christ.
What I said is what Terrence Howard said. Because Terrence Howard said, this is a fact. Terrence Howard said that Quincy Jones wants to hire him to do the biop, the movie for Marvin Gaye, and he wanted him to kiss a man. This is Terrence Howard's story. This is the fact.
Girl, well, I don't know, because Marvin ain't here to vouch for that.
Okay, and you're right, because Quincy Jones could be lying. Because Quincy,
right,
because I believe Terrence Howard when he said they tried to hire him and make him play the role as this of who the person so-called really was, Marvin Gaye. But I will go with you, like you said, Marvin Gaye isn't here. Quincy Jones could be lying, but everybody know that Quincy Jones go both ways. I'm just saying.
That part.
But I will go for he say, she say, the person can't defend themselves. But at the same time, why would you want to make a movie and then the person be gay?
After all these years, ain't this your first time hearing that?
No. Hear about Marvin Gaye?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is my first time from it. That's my first time. Now Quincy Jones, no. But not Marvin Gaye.
No, of course, we all know about Quincy. Quincy's supposed to dibble and dabble with all, he's one of them ones.
Yeah,
but I ain't never heard
Quincy one of them ones. Now, and I believe Terrence Howard when he say Quincy told him that. Now, is Quincy a hater? Is Quincy trying to make Marvin Gaye like him? That's the only thing.
He the diddler of his
because
time.
Terrence
Quincy
wasn't lying. Terrence wasn't lying when he said the people told him that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he wasn't, but Quincy is the diddler of his time. We don't trust him. He's the diddler.
He tried to make people look like him and stuff, too, because he was gay. Yeah. Now, Ninja, you wanted him to be gay.
And the other one is, too, the Arista record. What's the one, Whitney Houston?
Oh, yeah, Clive Davis. That's who turned P. Diddy out.
Right. That's what I'm saying. They all diddling in their time era, so I don't trust Quincy. And if that person ain't here to defend themselves, then I don't want to hear that shit. I'm sorry. I just can't believe everything.
I look at Marvin. I'm just jabbing. They said he was dating Tammy Terrell, but that was a lie, so I don't
know. Man, back in the day, all of them, we got to think, back in that era, they was all wearing the bell bottom of the tight pants, and they was all a little bit more.
And I'm going to also say this. If a family member don't come up and be like, man, Quincy Jones lying and stuff like that, I'm just saying, Terrence Howard didn't win last, because Terrence Howard has a podcast. Shout out to you, Terrence Howard. Maybe Real Life Topics. Ain't no maybe. Real Life Topics is going to be on that podcast one day, Terrence Howard. Because you got you a new hot podcast out right now, man. And I know you speaking truth on your stuff. You ain't got nothing to do with what somebody else told you, but you just speaking your truth, Terrence. And I do believe you on your podcast, sir. Shout out to you. But I don't know now.
But that's how rumors get started. That's how shit get started. Somebody said. Well, I ain't never heard Marvin say it, so I don't care what nobody say.
No, well, you ain't gonna never hear Marvin say it, but you mean somebody maybe more closer to him. But once again,
I mean, that's just like I can believe.
Don't nobody sue him or say, man, you talking crazy about my daddy or my uncle.
Kids?
Well, my uncle.
And sometimes people just don't want to be bothered.
Marvin Gaye ain't got no kids.
I don't think so.
I have to Google that. What? There go another red flag. No, I'm just jabbing with y'all. But this is real life. This is real life. And I'm just saying, if we ain't got no kids.
We just had that conversation.
Marvin Gaye having children.
About you. But just because they say it don't make it true. People say
Marvin Gaye has 3 children. Okay. He has 3 children. Marvin Jr. and some adopted kids, Noda and Frankie.
Oh, them the girl kids, ain't they?
Marvin the third by adoption. Oh, he might not have no kids then.
Yeah, I ain't never known him to pop no babies out back from who.
Right, Marvin Gaye adopted son of Denise Gordy, Anna's niece. Right, because I remember he was messing with
right.
Barry Gordy daughter.
Barry Gordy, Denise or something.
Well, we like you say, we will never know the truth unless we hear from the horse's mouth. But I do believe you, Terrence, when you said this ninja Quincy Jones told you that, and everybody know he get down how he lives. So okay, hopefully that's not true, Marvin Gaye, because that would be a hell of a coincidence. Your last name is Gay and you're gay, like that would be, a heck of a coincidence. But ain't nothing wrong with it if he was, because I do support the LGBT community. I have nothing against the LGBT community. I just be shocked when I be finding out that the peoples get down how they live. And it's okay. It's okay. Because I get down how I live too. My wrong is no different from anyone else's wrong. And I ain't even saying it's wrong, because I ain't saying
just be quiet. Just be quiet.
I'm just gonna be quiet because it's not wrong. Well, I'm gonna just say sin, because sinning is sinning. This is in the Bible. Now let me not go there as well. But my sin is no different from anyone else's sin. I'll just go with that. And yeah, you gotta respect that. Anybody that's tuning into Real Life Topics podcast, you have to respect that my sin is no bigger than anyone else's sin, and we ain't even gonna come up with the lists and criteria of what sins the definition of sins, but I have nothing against that. So whatever. I support everyone, and just like I want everyone to support me. Nevertheless,
You know what? That's why it's best. That's why it's best that you mind the business that pays you, baby. Mind it. If you mind your business, you don't have to worry about what nobody else got going on. That's why I mind my business. It is what it is. You live your life, I'm gonna live my life. I ain't got nothing to
that's
say.
right.
All right.
Mind your business. Mind your business. Don't manage your business. Don't judge me. I might not live how you live, and you might not live how I live. Don't judge. Let's just keep it real and keep it moving. Period. Point blank.
You know, that's another story for another time. I'm gonna be quiet because I be getting into the depth of things.
Right. Well, this is After Dark, guys. So how you guys doing on the After Dark? Late night After Dark, Real Life Topics podcast. At least we got the host, one of the hosts, because she was missing on our regular segment. We had a guest star co-host. Shout out to Chocolate Drop. You did your thing, girl. Tune in today. Y'all check that episode out and that segment out with Miss Chocolate Drop. We had some deep conversations. We went in on P. Diddy. We didn't go in on P. Diddy. We just had an opinion because y'all speaking of minding people business, as of right now, y'all in people business. That's all I'm saying with the P. Diddy thing. Y'all in people business, and I'm gonna need y'all to come on about the real deal of the Holyfield because as of right now, all I know is as of right now. That's all I know.
At the end of the day, what's done in the dark gonna come to the light. So if you doing something, you better not be ashamed of it. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't do things that you're gonna be ashamed of and not gonna be able to speak about later in life. That's it. That's all. Because at the end of the day gotta end, and people are watching you, and people are gonna judge, and people are gonna criticize, regardless of how much we say we don't want to. And reality is that's what's going on. The society is built upon people judging people. That's why we have laws and things of that nature, because there are things that we know that are wrong and things that we know that are right. You have to have some kind of moral compass about yourself.
Definitely gotta have morals and boundaries. You definitely gotta have morals and boundaries, man. You definitely gotta have that, and you definitely have to take accountability for when you're not on your shit with that, on your stuff with that. Trying not to curse. I've been working on that too, guys. I'm not sure about you guys, but I have a cursing issue that I want to work on.
I got a subject I want to talk about. Can you be in a relationship with someone that does not sexually satisfy you?
We got to go sexual on Real Life Topic Podcast, late night, real life, late night.
Grown folk shit, this grown folk shit. What we talking about? What's up?
Real life? What?
Late. We was just talking about real life topic stuff. Now we talking about late night real life stuff.
Dang. You going deep with it.
Can you?
Life Topic Podcast.
No.
Miss White say no. Miss White say no. Mr. Thompson say no. Now, what was the question? Wait. What was the question again?
Can you be in a relationship with somebody that does not satisfy you sexually?
So I guess you saying, can you be in a relationship or have you been? Can we say that?
No, I can't. Would you be with, or can you be? Would you think if you did, would you be happy? Is that something that you would be willing to do? Can you do that? He said, no, you cannot be in a relationship. Hell to the dog.
You cannot be in a relationship with, some of y'all been in a relationship anyway, and y'all wasn't even doing that, especially towards when it was the end and the shambles and you stuck it out as long as you could.
That's the shambles. We talking about like in it. Love and happy, be happy and in it and for years and stay with it. Could you be?
Well, that's not of importance when you're in a relationship, guys. That's all I'm saying.
That's the Aquarius.
Your relationship sex shouldn't be the number one thing when you guys are in a relationship. I'm just saying it's way more bigger and better things that you guys should be focused on and thinking about.
I agree.
That's all. Just focus on something else. I mean, that's not everything, especially when you come to a certain age and you kind of been there, done that, and had all your freak offs. Look, all y'all freak offs. And y'all know y'all had them freak offs with P. Diddy.
We gonna call that the Diddy. We gonna call that the Diddy when you done did
When you
the
done did the Diddy. When you done did the Diddy. When you done did the Diddy. Hey, it's just a freak off, you know.
Should I had to jump in and answer this question. No, I would not even try to build a relationship with if someone's not sexually satisfying me right. So I mean,
Okay, so remember now. Okay, so now we're talking about traditional way. Remember, technically, you're not even supposed to have sex before you marry, right?
What they say, but hey, it ain't in my traditions.
So with that being said, if that is the way you go about things, how would you even know until you got married?
That's why I don't go about the rules that they set out here for me. It ain't not proven to be a universal law. So
you got to test drive that car for you purchase it, huh?
Oh man, see there, you supposed to be celibate. Y'all supposed to be out here doing the well, that's what Kevin Gates said he was doing with Brittany Renner. I don't know if that's true with the whole Kevin Gates thing, but y'all supposed to be out here doing that.
Who says that?
Listen, Wanda said intimacy plays a big part in the relationship, but intimacy is not just dependent upon sex.
But still, like I said, I want you to try to build a relationship with somebody I know that I might not be satisfied with, that I might have to choose. Why waste their time or my time? You know.
I don't know. I think I could be. I'm not really like.
Well, women is not that. Some women, because we got some women that's probably nymphos and they gotta have it. But
So
of course, women kind of deal way more than me without the sex part, you know.
So Wanda said hell to the no. She a woman and she said she ain't she need that.
Need that.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. So Wanda, yeah. Well, sex do, Miss White said. Miss Wanda White said. She said, well, sex do. Man, look at here. At a certain age, I feel like that ain't important. That's all I'm saying. At a certain age, it shouldn't be important. It's way more bigger and better things to think about.
It is.
But I guess it does play a part, especially to a man. And I ain't trying to throw it off on a man because once again, I know women want to be satisfied too and get their groove on and stuff like that too. But I feel like the man gotta have it. I mean, they can't even live all week, all months and months without that stuff. It's like, I mean, that's why they get up with women. That's why
That's not true. That's not all true, though. I mean, it ain't that you gotta have it, but when you get it, you want it to be good. That's all I'm saying.
That's not the question was, can you be with somebody who don't like y'all? You can't do it. Like, let's say your shit don't work, yours don't work. I'm
gonna make sure mine always work. That's why I'm at now, doing what I'm doing now. So.
I'm finna pass out. I'm
just saying, it could be it may not have nothing to do with your health. It may something. There could be an accident. It could just be something that you can't help. And you mean to tell me?
That's why I try to stay out of compromising situations, but won't none of that stuff happen. So.